Hey guys, welcome back. Glenn with Old School Millennial. Today I'm going to be talking to y'all about how to go about choosing the right tractor. This video is sponsored by Kioti Tractor. So when I partnered with Kioti Tractor, it was already a product that I believed in, one that I had already used and felt good about. And now after using a Kioti Tractor for several years, I can still stand behind that. So when you're looking at buying a tractor, some of the things that you got to consider obviously are what are you going to be using that tractor for? What is the size property that you're going to be using the tractor on? And then what are some of the biggest tasks that you're going to need to accomplish with that tractor? So as an example, my tractor, I use it on a 10-acre property. I use it mainly for brush hogging, box blading my driveway, moving around round bales, moving rock around, and then using the grapple for moving brush and storm damage and stuff like that, and using it for firewood as well. So just to give you an idea, for me, a 25 horsepower, I have a Kioti 2610, which has worked great for my size property. But when you're going about choosing a tractor, you have to look at pairing your tractor with the size property that you have and the tasks that you're looking to accomplish. So just be thinking about, am I going to mainly be using it for box blading? Am I mainly going to be using it for brush hogging? Or am I mainly going to be using it for a grapple? And what size objects am I going to be trying to pick up with it? So all of these are things to consider. So you definitely want to look at the lift capacity of your tractor. You want to be looking at the horsepower of your tractor. And the more horsepower, obviously, the bigger implements you're going to be able to run. So like a brush hog, for example, you're going to have higher horsepower the bigger the brush hog. You'll have to have more horsepower to turn the PTO to be able to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish with that given implement. So just consider those things. But one thing I would say when choosing a tractor is try to figure out what the biggest tasks you're trying to accomplish are and what the lifting capacity that you need to accomplish those with, and then what horsepower range are you looking at that you're going to need to accomplish. One thing that I've spoken about in the past is when choosing a tractor, it's good to kind of look at the top range and then maybe go a little bit further than that and get something a little bit more powerful to consider. Maybe in the future, you're going to be trying to run an implement that needs a given horsepower. Just be thinking about what you're going to be using that tractor for now and in the future. So another thing that you want to consider when looking at a tractor is what implements are you going to purchase the tractor with? Oftentimes a tractor, they offer it with a package of different implements. So what are those first couple implements that are the most important for you, like a brush hog or a box blade? Or is it something that you want to go ahead and get a grapple? Like me, for example, I wanted a grapple, but I didn't want to purchase it right up front. But I did go ahead and put a third function on my tractor because I knew I was going to go for that grapple in the future. Speaking of implements, a grapple is, for me, has been a game changer. It's been one of the biggest helps to my operation here at our place, and it amplifies my ability to work 10x. As I would one person, it's like I have 10 guys helping me move logs around and firewood and stuff like that. So if you're looking at different implements, consider a grapple. It's one of the best implements, for me at least, that I've used. So another thing to consider is, do I want to get a 2-wheel drive or a 4-wheel drive? If you have hills on your property, or if you have situations where you're not going to get very good traction, definitely opt for 4-wheel drive. I don't believe that you'll regret ever having 4-wheel drive. It is a little bit more of a cost, but ultimately 4-wheel drive is definitely an advantage in multiple different situations. Another thing to consider as a part of your tractor purchase is, do I want a hydrostatic transmission or a manual? So if you're going to be using a tractor on hills, or if you're going to be in and out, moving a lot of different ways and like reversing, doing a lot of reversing and moving forward, a hydrostatic transmission is going to be a major plus for you, and you're not going to have to constantly be shifting gears. A manual is great whenever you're out and you got wide open, just you're mowing or you're doing something that's just going in straight lines. But if you're doing a lot of work on hills or moving around in tight spaces and you're constantly having to maneuver and move back and forth, a hydrostatic transmission is a great option. One other thing to consider whenever you're looking at a tractor is, do you want a cab or do you want to go open station? A cab is really nice in the middle of the summer if you've got air conditioning for mowing and stuff like that. It's also really nice if it's really cold in your area and you've got a heater in the middle of the winter. Definitely a plus. But if you've got tight areas that you're working within forests or woods or different areas where you're going to need to get into some tight areas, having an open station is going to be nice because you can lower the ROPS down and you can just drive straight through those different areas, and it's obviously going to be much cheaper. So that's something to consider when you're looking at a tractor. Definitely when you're looking at a tractor, don't choose your tractor based on its color. I made this mistake early on whenever I was looking at tractors. I had a couple brands that I was very familiar with that I had known from growing up and that I just had seen, as I drove by different farms and stuff like that. I had thought these were the brands that I had to choose within. Just speaking from my experience, look into the different brands of tractors. Look at all of them. Look at what you're getting for the money. So I know for me specifically, whenever I was looking at buying a tractor, I was going to actually have to be purchasing a tractor that was in the next size class in order to get the same lifting capacity that I needed for my tractor. And when I did that, it was over a $10,000 bump from this tractor to what I was going to have to get in the next class up in another brand. So look at these things and look what you're going to be using this tractor for. Also look at the warranty. Make sure that the warranties are similar and that you're going to be getting the same support and the same dealer support as you would. Also, look into the longevity of that company and how long they've been around and what the last several years have looked like in the specific model brand that you're looking at. With looking at different brands, just be open to what those brands offer and what they actually accomplish. I know for me, I didn't know before I purchased a tractor, I didn't know a lot about Kioti tractor. But after doing my research, I realized they offered a great value for the money and for what I was going to get out of it. And I realized their warranty was comparable to other brands. And when I checked all the boxes, I realized, wow, this is a brand that I didn't know about, but they're offering a good product and a good value to the customer. So just be sure to look at those things and realize what you're going to be using the tractor for and what value am I going to get out of the money invested. Because it's really important. A tractor purchase is very important. You're going to be using that tractor for a long time. Sometimes people use tractors for decades. Sometimes like you buy one tractor, that's your tractor for the rest of your life. So just consider those things before you just jump into a tractor and go sit in them, go to your dealers, talk to them, ask them questions. Obviously, whenever you're doing that, you'll kind of see which dealers are more supportive to you. I'm thankful that I've had really good luck with the dealer that I've worked with here locally. My local dealer is called Southern Star Tractor. I've had a really great experience with them, and they've helped me through my time in using this tractor and in servicing my tractor and offering support whenever I needed it. So that's just something to consider whenever you're looking at tractors. Also, just check and see what your dealer is like and how they will support you in the future. So with all of that said, I know I'm not touching on everything. So if you have questions, be sure to put them down in the comments. Ask your questions. I'll do my best to answer what I can. And then if you have experience in going through this process and choosing a tractor, put those comments down for different suggestions that you have and how to go about searching for a tractor and what to go about and some of the things to ask. I want to share as much information as we can to help people that are looking for a tractor for their first time. I appreciate you guys joining me today. If you like videos like this and you want to support the channel, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. And as I always say, get outside and do something you love.